Hi, Fluency groups. We are going to do a different story today because it seems like maybe that story was a little bit tricky and I wanted to switch it up to try a different one. But still, we got some practice with that one yesterday. Today, I want you to use this one. It's an excerpt. That means it's taken from a bigger story called The Golden Bird. Okay, so follow along while I read. It's okay that you can't write on this, okay, because you only need to be able to read to it. And then when Mrs. Mitchell sends you the link, you'll be able to open this doc and just read to it from this doc. So here we go. So today I want you to listen while I read, and then I want you to read it, the whole thing to yourself, okay? And then time yourself for a minute after you do that. Here we go. A certain king had a beautiful garden, and in the garden, sorry, guys, I'm going to start over. So I wanted to make sure that my volume was turned up so that you guys could hear me. All right, I'm going to start over. A certain king had a beautiful garden, and in the garden stood a tree which bore golden apples. These apples were always counted, and about the time when they began to grow ripe, it was found that every night one of them was gone. The king became very angry at this and ordered the gardener to keep watch all night under the tree. The gardener set his eldest son to watch, but about 12 o'clock he fell asleep, and in the morning another of the apples was missing. Then the second son was ordered to watch, and at midnight he too fell asleep, and in the morning another apple was gone. Then the third son offered to keep watch, but the gardener at first would not let him, for fear some harm should come to him. However, at last he consented, and the young man laid himself under the tree to watch. As the clock struck 12, he heard a rustling noise in the air, and a bird came flying that was of pure gold. And as it was snapping at one of the apples with its beak, the gardener's son jumped up and shot an arrow at it. But the arrow did the bird no harm, only it dropped a golden feather from its tail and then flew away. The golden feather was brought to the king in the morning, and all the council was called together. Everyone agreed that it was worth more than all the wealth of the kingdom. But the king said, "One feather is of no use to me. I must have the whole bird." While I was reading that, I was thinking lots of things. I was thinking about what type of person the king was. If he's going to say this at the end, he must have the whole bird. One feather is not enough. I was thinking about that the gardener must love his youngest son the most, because his other sons he let do it, but then he didn't want to let his youngest son for fear some harm should come to him. So I thought, he must be his favorite. And then I was thinking about this word consented. It says, however, at last he consented, which means he agreed. And I was thinking it's really strange that they count their apples every night, but that kind of goes along with what the king says down here. One feather is of no use to me. He must be very greedy. Okay, just a few thoughts that popped into my head that I wanted to share with you. So now you're going to read the whole story and then time yourself for 1 minute. Okay, and then do the same thing. Come back, do the same thing tomorrow. And then just watch for the message from Mrs. Mitchell to read that with her. Bye, guys.